Topics in cleansing. So here are my topics. So what makes an herb a cleansing herb? So I have some things. So there's two, we have two. We have the magical sense and we have like the medicinal sense.
Mm,
So in the magical sense, like these are herbs that are like have like energetic centers of purification and release and renewal and maybe even bringing something back to neutrality. So there's that. And then they are herbs that remove stagnant, heavy foreign energy, but they're not super aggressive. Like banishing herbs are aggressive. So their job is to clear space and restore the natural flow and harmony, your natural flow and harmony, hopefully, like into the
mm.
space. Like they're energetic rinses. They don't like exile and they don't shield like a protective herb. They're just gonna wash things away, right? We're gonna talk about the protective herbs in the next round, which is coming up soon.
Mm.
So they are typically associated with air and water, which is movement and renewal kind of energy. And so this is their feel is a little bit softer than banishing herbs, like in rough herbs. There's it's like soft smoke and flowing water and sweeping. They tend to be a little bit more gentle. Even when they're like scouring, they're not like a banishing herb. So just so you know. So their purpose, and we talked about this a little bit before, is to reset the field. So we talked about when,
Mm.
before ritual, after an illness, which I don't know if we talked about, when energy feels heavy or when something has been emotionally charged. So their natural vibration of these herbs are neutralizing and harmonizing type of herbs. And in short, cleansing returns something to its baseline. So we talked about that. We didn't think that it necessarily
Mhm.
created something new. It returns it. And if you're in that space, then it returns it to your natural baseline. So there we go. So in a medicinal state though, because there's definitely cleansing herbs and I want to make this clear that many times they cross paths. And in fact, if something
Mhm.
is medicinally used for something, I find that it's a pretty good shot that you can use it magically for that too. So if you have cleansing herbs like you definitely should be able to use it magically for that. I would. I would. What do you think?
I think we've talked about, I agree. I think we've talked about that before and how probably I think when we kind of first started posting to YouTube, but it was like we talked about how a lot of people don't really study herbs in the medicinal way, and people who are like study herbs oftentimes focus on like the magical way, which is great, but the medicinal qualities help you to understand the like more magical qualities. And so I fully agree with you. And I think that if you're using it for a reason that's completely different from the medicinal reason, I don't know. I mean, to each their own, but I wouldn't do that. I'm not going to use it for something for like a magical property that goes against the cleansing herb. Like if it's a moving herb, I'm not going to use it to keep something steady and stagnant,
Yeah,
Like it doesn't make
100%.
sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. So these are herbs. Cleansing herbs support elimination and detoxification and circulation. So they're going to help your body clear out things, clear out wastewater, restoring balance. They're like often they can even be like if they're going to support your liver, they're going to support your kidney functions. They're going to support your digestive system and its elimination. So all three of those kind of like work together for elimination and moving of things, but also like things that like help increase your blood movement can be very cleansing as well. And so that's your circulation. So there you go. So they're just like I said, liver, kidneys, lymph, skin, and lungs. Well, skin and liver, often ones that like support your liver also support your skin. I've said it many times. Um, so So yeah, so that's that.
We
Um,
see that a lot in TCM too. Like a lot of times they'll look at your skin and can determine like your liver, any liver issues you're having in TCM. Yeah.
yeah, like it shows up on your,
It's so
not just in
connected.
being yellow, because that's one thing. I mean,
Hmm.
that'll tell if you have like a foul liver. If your
Yeah.
skin is yellow, your liver is not functioning. But oftentimes,
Go to the doctor if you're jaundiced.
thank you. You are having a breakdown of your body organ, and you need to see the doctor immediately.
Yeah.
Thank you. But also like a lot of times with like acne and stuff, like
Yeah.
it can be hormonal, but it can also like
Hmm.
be a issue with your liver not moving things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the actions for medicinal cleansing herbs are diuretics because that's going to help move the water in your kidneys. Diaphoretic is sweat inducing. It's going to help get all
Hmm.
that like detoxification out of your skin, sweat it out. That's like alteratives are blood purifiers, and expectorants are like coughing it up, getting it out of your lungs. So those are the actions that are associated. So the examples of medicinal cleansing herbs are like dandelion. Okay,
Dandelion.
that's so funny. I told somebody at work, like I was looking at herbs, and I was like, I told them about chamomile and dandelion, and now they call it that too. I'm like laughing my head off. Yes.
It's catchy.
Burdock, nettle,
Yeah.
parsley, lemon balm, cleavers, all these things are like very cleansing to the body.
I do love my dandelion root.
Yeah, me too. And by the way, dandelion leaves are very nutritious. So if
Mm.
you are like, for those survivalists out there, like you can always eat dandelion leaves. They're filled with vitamins.
Hmm.
I mean, you can even eat nettle too. If you and you can find
Yeah.
these things all over the place. So whatever.
Hmm. I
Okay,
have
but
burdock growing right outside, actually, wild burdock.
there you go. We have burdock growing. I know. I've seen burdock growing around me too.
Hmm.
So we talked about this earlier. So there is a medical parallel to magic, and we talked about the whole thing. So like these herbs, they do exactly what inside your body what we're talking about doing outside of your body. They help move along what's not needed anymore, help get out the toxins, help like remove bad stuff from your body or things that shouldn't be there to make your body what it's supposed to be, like back to its nice, normal, perfect little state that it is. So it doesn't, it's not destroying anything. It's not fighting. It's just moving stuff along. It's helping it get out of. So there you go. So now we're going to move over to tarot and cleansing. That's the next one. And kind of went out this how to use the tarot in cleansing. So I've got like quite a few ways. So first, um, to use the tarot as an energetic mirror, like when you pull the cards. So like doing a pull basically that's dedicated to cleansing, right? So the act of pulling cards and naming the heaviness and releasing it like can be an act of cleansing. You can transmute that energy and move it along. You can also like create a pull that's like basically dedicated to cleansing and to tell you like for example the first card could be what energy needs to be cleansed, right? And then the
Hmm.
second card is what's blocking you, blocking the release, or what kind of roadblocks do you see as coming up against cleansing that energy? And then three, what supports your renewal? So, and then, like I said, those can be used, or like you can just pull a card and like as a thing that needs to be cleansed, as an energetic mirror for like something that needs to be cleansed in your body. Like even like a single card, just pull a cleansing card and name that heaviness inside you, even if it's a good card. Like good things can be heavy and can need to be cleansed from your space. Sometimes they're not your good things, like somebody's toxic positivity or like sunlight can be too bright for me and the energy like I need like calm quiet at that moment and I need to like cleanse this like harsh light from my like so even like cards, tarot cards that may seem like good cards, although I don't think there are good cards in tarot. I think every card
Yeah.
is meaningful in its own way. But even
Hmm.
cards like that, you may not think like, why would you cleanse that from you? Well, you may need to cleanse that from you. Even
Yeah.
I could think of every card and even my most beloved cards, there's a time and a place where they may need to be cleansed from
Yeah.
just at that moment. So,
Yeah.
yes.
My immediate, like the thing that came to mind immediately when you said that, I haven't really thought about this aspect, but the thing that came to mind is the sun. And it's
Yeah,
like, well, why would you need to cleanse like the sun? Like the sun is beautiful and warm. And it's like, well, if I were to like try to figure out what needs cleansing and I pulled the sun, to me, it would be like fake happiness. Like, I
exactly.
don't know. That's something that could definitely be represented by the sun that would need to be cleansed.
Yeah, a fake happiness or like obvious like what would it that would be telling me if I pulled the sun if what was is that I need to do shadow work, that I need to like dig,
Yeah.
I need quiet solitude. I need like
Yeah.
hermit energy at that morning at that time and I need to be
Hmm.
cleansed of like outdoors and
Yeah.
like bright energy and like that needs to for the
Hmm.
time being that needs to be cleansed from my realm for a little bit.
Yeah.
When you cleanse, that's another
Yeah.
thing. I don't think cleansing is like as forever as banishing. You're just cleansing,
No, me
helping stuff
neither.
move on. It's not like you're
Yeah.
banishing it.
Yeah.
Like things can come
Yeah.
back. So anyway, there's that.
Yeah. I don't think that we've ever talked about this, but it would be interesting for us to do like a meeting or a class or something talking about like pairs of cards.
Oh,
Like like what two cards would be paired so well, like the sun and the moon, or like
mhm.
the magician and the high priestess, or something like that, talking about like their opposites. That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Very interesting.
Mhm.
I love that. We should.
Mhm.
So then we can talk about cleansing, like cleansing your deck. So that's important. I feel like there's like a bunch of different ways that people cleanse their deck. And I feel like if you haven't used
Mhm.
your deck in a while, or if somebody else even has
Yeah.
touched your deck, or I feel like
Mhm.
you need to reset that energy, maybe more than you might think. Um,
Yeah.
you can do it a couple different ways. You can use smoke. You can use sandalwood, rosemary, copal to like smoke cleanse your deck and just like run the
Mhm.
smoke underneath the deck of cards
Yeah.
and kind of like get it through there. Like you can use sunlight
Mhm.
or moonlight to cleanse your deck or sound,
Yeah.
bells, singing bowls.
Mhm.
And then I also included this is that when you if you've ever been to a tarot reader and they knock their deck 3 times,
Mhm.
that's supposed to clear the energy and to cleanse the residual energy from the deck. And often when you go see a person who reads tarot cards for lots of people, they'll often do
Mhm.
that because it's hard to like use these other like you can't set it out in the sunlight when the next person's coming through the door, right? So
Yeah.
anyway,
I also blow on mine.
yeah, blowing on them. Yeah, there's many
Mhm.
different ways to like
Yeah.
cleanse your deck, but that's another aspect of tarot and cleansing that to think about.
Mhm.
So another way like is to pick an intentional, and let me just make sure. Okay. No, yeah, that is so. Okay, so think about what you need, what you're deciding on in your, if you need to do a cleansing ritual or if cleansing is going to be part of your ritual, and then determine the deck you're going to use so for that prescription for what you need. So for
Mhm.
example, if like you want to do cleansing and you want to use an herbal ally for cleansing, well, then there are decks that are great tarot herbal out. In fact, I have many of them that I could pull
Mhm.
out that tarot deck. I would probably smoke cleanse that tarot deck because I haven't used it like in a minute. And then pick an herbal ally to see what card I should use to cleanse or like
Mhm.
even a color. Like most tarot cards are very like color centric. Like they like so if you picked like a card that like had mostly yellow, like the sun, or mostly
Mhm.
blue, or mostly, like or like whatever color you saw, you could like make that like the theme of your cleansing ritual or your um or what even you need to do. You could like what do I need to do? Like what's the prescription? And you could use the deck to help you with that. Like determine. And then so sometimes people do this with spell work. Um is that they actually use a particular card in the tarot to like set out, or they
That's
pick
what I was gonna say too,
yeah, they
yeah.
pick it out of the deck and then they set it out during spell work. And we're going to talk about some cards that are associated with cleansing next. So you place it on your altar or near your bath to use like that archetypal cleansing energy that it possesses. So that's the ways to use tarot in cleansing. Oh, here's another one. Tarot journaling. So journal, so you can like take if you like felt like you needed like make part of your if you tarot journal. So some people have done this on a daily, weekly, a monthly basis. They do a set of polls, a tarot poll, and then they journal on that poll, which is an interesting thing. I've spent a long time doing that in the past. It's very instructive. But you could like make the theme of it in your like emotional cleansing and well-being is like for a time period, and then journal on your tarot polls like during the course of weeks or months, like for emotional cleansing and well-being. So that's an idea too. So on to the specific tarot cards associated. Did you have any other ideas about how you could use tarot and cleansing together?
No, not really. I think you talked about all of the ones that I would have thought about. I do the purposeful like digging out the card sometimes if there's something that I've been working on cleansing for like more than once, like if I'm just doing one cleansing, I usually don't, but if it's something that I felt like a cleansing that needed a couple days or something, I'll definitely do that. But no, I agree.
Okay. So these are the cards that I thought about that were associated with cleansing. So first of all, the star, I felt like it was
Mm.
associated with cleansing and kind of
That's
restoring.
I got that today
Nice.
in my poll
Renewal,
today.
purification, spiritual cleansing after turmoil. It's like a
Mm,
recovering card. It's like the water is
mm,
like flowing and the energy is moving and things are being restored. It's such like a nice card. It was the card of my discontent, though, I tell you that. It was the
no.
card that got me into trouble because I read the card as not like a person was not,
Oh, that's the
this is the
one.
card. The person
Oh,
was not, what is the word? Like
cursed or something.
cursed or hexed
Yeah.
or whatever the
Yeah.
word was, because the star indicates that it's renewal. What if you were
Yeah.
before, you aren't now. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's that. So we see like a naked figure and she's pouring the water into the earth. That's physical healing and back into the stream. So that's spiritual replenishment. And so we see that this is a card of emotional and spiritual purification. It washes away despair. It's about clarity. It's about hope. It's a positive card. So it's perfect. So this is a great card. Like if you're inclined, Raven, to do water-based cleansing rituals or baths, this is actually like a perfect card for that. So
Mm.
yeah. So hold on. Okay. So let's see. The next card is death. And we talked about this a lot. People always say, oh, it's bad, just death. But usually almost like I would harken to say 99.99% of the time it has nothing to do with physical death. This is about
Yeah.
like things dying away. So it can be associated with
The
banishing.
ending,
What? Yes.
like the ending of something.
Exactly. So it's about release. It's about transformation, letting things go, getting rid of things. So the old is dying. You can see like there's an old man who's dying, and then the new are being like walked past, like sitting there, like it's anyway. So it's a composting of what no longer serves us, just like we've been talking about. Um, it's like there is a part of it, like I said, it's like I would say it's probably in between. It can be used for banishment as well. It's
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
it's about like symbolically like emotional death and rebirth though. There's like an aspect to the death card that you should always read it as like something new is coming. This is not the last
Hmm.
card in the tarot and the major arcana. This is like this is in the storyline. So this is not the end. This is like part of the cleansing so that we can get to the rebirth and the newness. So it's you can use it to release old attachments, stagnant energy, or habits before your renewal. The next card is Temperance, which is another card that features water.
Hmm.
Um, so the essence of temperance is balance and harmony, integration. So, like, it's a balance of spirit and body and coming into like that place that we want to be in, like getting rid of all the stagnant and not good, not necessarily not good energy, but just energy that isn't ours, energy that stops this flow and integration, whatever it is, whether it's like yucky or whether it's just like whatever. So we see like an angel who's mixing two cups and cleansing extremes and creating an equilibrium. So it's very balanced. It's very much a balance card, and it's about creating, like it says, equilibrium. So it's gonna restore your purity, your inner, not purity in like the, I don't know, not in the, that's a loaded term to me. I don't even know why I
Christian
said that.
sense.
Yeah, like it's just like whatever's like your internal goodness inside you
Mm.
and your energetic flow. It's like alchemical purification. That's a better way to look at
Hmm.
it. It's not like, yeah, pure, like the purity pledge. So So you can use this card. It's about cleansing through like restoration of like a middle ground and balancing and to get like off this like a roller coaster of emotions or extremes of any energy. Like if you feel like overloaded and that your energy is like bogged down, Temperance is a great card to be using or pulling. The Ace of Cups, another one. They all kind of feature this water imagery too. Overflowing emotional renewal and divine love. So, a chalice is overflowing with pure water. The heart is cleansed and open. So, emotional release. This is like the beginning too. This is about like being back at the beginning. Like, so if you wanted to have a series, you could have that death card and then the Ace of Cups would be like a great, like, even like in the middle, maybe Temperance and then the Ace of Cups. It's like brings you into like, it's like a triune, like cleansing triplicate of like bringing yourself into a good space, getting rid of the ick. And it's not about protection yet, which we're going to get into. It's just about getting rid of all the old stuff, releasing and heart opening and being like ready for the next thing. I mean, this is an ace. It's not like so. So you can use this in heart-centered cleansing rituals or cleansing the emotional body. This one is a card that I love. The Six of Swords. It's my getting the hell out of Dodge card. It's like getting rid of the yuck. So getting away from turbulence and towards peace. So getting rid of turbulence and moving towards a more peaceful ground. Like it's like leaving in the middle of the night. It's like gone and gone, done and done, leaving with nothing. She doesn't have a bag. They're not packed. Like the figure and the child are just goodbye, goodbye. There's no sun, there's no light. It's like moving stuff along through the water as well. So a figure moves by boat across the still waters, leaving behind what no longer fits. And it's about mental clearing. It's about distance, getting away from the chaos. Like I said, getting the hell out of Dodge, like now, like leaving
Hmm.
now. Like, and it's almost
Yeah.
like when you like make like a ritual for cleansing, it's like making a plan and we're leaving in the middle of the night. Like
Yeah.
and you're moving into like calm waters. So you're like moving through like so it's good for clearing clutter or recovering from trauma and conflict. So, and I would definitely, I look at the swords as being associated with fire. So definitely like it would be associated with fiery things. So if there's been something that's been especially like stressful or negative or fiery or Mars feeling like angry, like definitely like this is a card about recovering from that sort of energy. Then we have the moon. That's the next one for cleansing. So this is about illuminating shadows and like in the darkness. It's about like psychic cleansing and about like your inner self. And these little things are not fire from the sun. Like this is not a sun and a moon. These are like yods, which is about life. Like, so just so you know, this is not like, this is a moon. So, and these are like moon rays. Yeah. So, yeah. So, the imagery is that like this moonlight is going to draw out like the hidden things to be released and like our hidden like even like our hidden energies like our like between the wolf and the dog like our hidden like selves that we need to if we need to cleanse something within ourselves. It's like I like illusions, energetic types of detox, and also used with lunar water rituals as well. So, especially like during the dark moon when you're doing your shadow work, it's great for that time if you want to do cleansing then in some sort of intuitive type of purification or clearing unseen elements, or when you want to bring the unseen to light to cleanse it so that you know like better what's going on, those kind of things. So, then judgment. And I love if you just go by the words, you think that this is like a card about being judged or about, but it's really not. It's about rebirth and awakening and feeling like absolved in like a community of like-minded people. So that's what it's really about. It's not about like passing judgment or somebody passing judgment or anything like that. It's about like awakening and rebirth. So these are like figures that are awakening from the graves ostensibly at like the final like the rapture the final judgment or whatever in the Bible it is, but the idea of it is that they are like as a community that like the graves are opening up and they are like answering this higher call, like they're like being reborn and awakened. So this is cleansing of your soul. This is a card about soul cleansing and about like forgiveness of yourself, forgiveness of others, karmic releases, things like that. So you can use this like as a close to a cycle. Like this is like getting like this is at card number 20. So we are close to the end of the cycle. So this is a card about like again forgiveness of yourself and others, and so that you can move on with clarity into a new cycle. So this is about like complete cleansing of the last cycle that you've been in. And this is one that I love that I'm glad I am like I have moved through. I was in a hermit stage for a long time, so I understand being alone. But the hermit can be used for for cleansing because it's about like withdrawal and being cleansed and purged through solitude and reflection. It's less about like using something to cleanse like an herb to smoke cleanse, and it's much more about your own personal cleansing your heart through your own reflection and being alone. And I'm here to tell you that after like probably more than a year of being in this hermit state, I can honestly say that the solitude and the reflection it was life changing. Like I felt like I had to go through this, and so definitely cleansing. So you can see that this figure is holding a lantern. And this lantern is to illuminate your insides, and it's through like the simplicity of the hermit and being like away in the cave and not indulging, like kind of being like in solace and solitude. Okay. So we're talking about mental and spiritual detox through introspection when you're using the hermit card. By the end of my hermit time, I like was done. You can feel like when that is done, but if you keep pulling the hermit, or if you feel like you're called to this hermit energy, like buckle up. You're in for like a mental and spiritual cleansing of your life. Because there's nothing more cleansing than being alone and having nobody else to talk to or think of, to just having yourself. Like you come to rely on yourself in a completely new and different way when everyone and everything is detoxed from your life, and you kind of have to go through your own wherewithal and cleanse your own mental gunk. And not only that, but learn how. You kind of have to learn how to do that. Like for a person that like rarely have many of us been in that sort of solitude like that I was in for that long. Most people do not do that. It's like a thing of monks, and like it's like rarely do people spend that length of time truly by themselves. And I would say it was like a cycle. It wasn't necessarily self-imposed. There were self-imposed parts to it, but it was like a natural cycle that I went through. And there was a lot of like learning how to cleanse yourself, learning how to be reliant only on yourself to cleanse yourself and your emotion, your mental states and your spirituality. Very informative and as well. A lot of knowledge was learned. So cleansing through stillness, meditation, or retreat.